Good afternoon, and welcome to WATD's Powerful Women Revealed, created and hosted by Nicole Perry. You're invited to enjoy an ongoing series of personal and educational discussions with a variety of women that want to educate, inspire, and bring awareness to the community. These women all have a powerful mission and appreciate the opportunity to share their stories, milestones, and successes with you. Here's your host, Nicole Perry.
Good afternoon and welcome to Powerful Women Revealed. I'm your host, Nicole Perry, and I have a very special guest today. She is an executive board member on the Massachusetts Coalition for Suicide Prevention. She is also a chair for the Plymouth County Suicide Prevention Coalition and has been an integral part of the coalition since its inception back in June of 2015. She is a certified mental health first aid instructor, as well as an instructor for the courses offered free by the coalition and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, also known as the AFSP. Jennie Babcock, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here today. And I know that you are on a really big mission.
Yes.
We are talking about suicide prevention. So take me back to that moment where you decided that you wanted to be a part of these organizations.
It really wasn't a decision of I wanted to. I knew I had to. Back in May 2011, I lost my 15-year-old niece to suicide. Watching my kids, who at the time were teenagers, go through the loss and the pain, I knew that teenagers struggle and need to know that it's okay to talk to people.
It's okay to talk about their feelings.
Yes.
It's okay to talk about specifically what about their feelings. Is it okay to talk about that you feel like you want to take your life?
That's exactly what we're trying to get people to talk about, saying it's okay not to be okay. If they're having thoughts of suicide, we want them to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
But we also want people to become aware of signs and symptoms, and also not to be afraid to ask someone, are you thinking of suicide?
Or ask any question.
Exactly.
Any question from love will do.
Yes.
Right? Are
Yes.
you okay? Is everything okay? I'm worried about you. It doesn't even have to be a question.
Right.
Right?
It should be open-ended.
Right?
So that they have to respond.
Yeah, so that it's not a yes or no answer.
Correct.
I love that. So I came out a long time ago. I am a suicide attempt survivor. Coming out really openly has been very interesting. And I feel like we're both like the poster child. Right? Like, I don't know, like that in a positive way.
I was going to say in a positive way, because we're not afraid to talk about it, because we've been down these roads.
I feel like so many people are afraid that, it's going to be my fault. If I say something wrong, it's going to be my fault.
And people believe that if they ask someone if they're thinking about suicide, that it's going to put the thought in that person's head. And that is a myth.
So what is your fundamental goal?
To get out into each community, whether private businesses, organizations, and mainly the schools, to educate people, students, staff, about the signs, symptoms of suicide. We go out and teach mental health first aid to anybody in the community. Lately, our focus has been first responders, working with them, because they go through a lot and their mental health wellness is very important. But definitely we need to educate people, end the stigma, and get people to talk about it and not be afraid to talk about it.
So you believe that spreading awareness is going to reduce the amount of suicide attempts?
Even attempts or actual suicides. That is our ultimate goal.
It's all around our mental health.
Yes. With mental health, the first aid class that we do, it goes over all the different illnesses and disorders and makes people aware of the signs and symptoms.
Which illnesses, which disorders?
ADHD, it could be schizophrenia, it could be psychosis.
Any of these types of illnesses or disorders
Diagnosed disorders
are preempting suicide attempts?
There's usually co-occurring symptoms going on.
Co-occurring.
So it could be somebody that's fighting depression, but also someone that might even have bipolar, or somebody that might have a substance abuse and depression. So there's always co-occurring symptoms.
Ah, that is huge.
Yes.
Well, I hope you stay with us. It's a pretty powerful show today. My guest is Jennie Babcock, and you can go to masspreventssuicide.org for more information. I'm your host, Nicole Perry. You're listening to Powerful Women Revealed right here on 95.9 WATD. And we are back. You're listening to Powerful Women Revealed. I'm your host, Nicole Perry. That was Bradley Cooper singing Black Eyes. When I was watching the movie, I was counting all of the signs, and I'm sure I missed some of them. There were so many signs. And it's important to not look for them,
but you want to be able to recognize them. We were talking that we don't want to say the wrong thing. And
Yeah.
one of the things that we're pushing right now with everybody as well as the media, it's safe messaging. You know, we try not and glorify anything. It's different words. A lot of times you'll hear us say that someone died by suicide or that they attempted. We try not and say commit suicide.
So that's part of the safe messaging.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And really, you know, he sings in the song Black Eyes, and I'm all alone by the wayside. And I think that part of the safe messaging and the really the ending of the attempts is to bring people in and stop pushing people away. There's too much separation.
Yes.
The internet, the social media can bring you in, but it can be a lonely place.
Right. Nobody picks up the phone and talks. Everything's texting.
Yeah, but there is a text.
There is a text line.
Okay,
You're
what is
right.
the text line?
741-741.
Okay, 741-741. What do they write?
If they need help or
I
if
need
they
to
just
talk.
want to talk to somebody,
I need to
just
talk.
text 741-741, and that will connect you to the National Suicide Prevention Line.
And so that's what we need more of. We need more asking the questions. Any question asked from love. I've said this in some of my previous shows. You know, we are what we eat. And that is not just the food that we eat. It's what we feed our minds. And if you're stuck and you're in your head and you're feeding your mind some negative information, and it's a tape that's just playing
Keep going.
over and over and over again, you might find yourself stuck in a 2-week bout.
Right. Or longer, right.
Or longer. And that's a sign.
And that's a time to seek help.
But a sign could also be as simple as, you know, anything that you see on a regular basis that suddenly is different.
Exactly.
And what can someone do?
If someone is suffering and they do know the signs, they can call the National Suicide Prevention Line, which is the 1-800-273-8255, or do the text, which is the 741-741, and ask for help. By calling there, you don't have to be in crisis. You can call and ask, I'm noticing this. What is my next step?
And it's the resources is what you need.
Exactly.
It's the person on the other end of the phone is going to help you figure out next steps.
Correct. You may want to talk to the person in crisis in private and have them open up. Ask those questions.
Ask those questions based from love, because if you love and care and you say that, I love and care about you. I'm worried about you. What can I do to help you? Will get the person thinking, but hello, maybe the person will feel cared about.
Correct.
Isn't that really the
get them
underlying goal? Is to make sure the person feels loved? And we are back. You're listening to Powerful Women Revealed, and that was Ava Max, So Am I. And, I shared with you before we came on today that I'm playing very specific songs, and these last two songs are very uplifting because that's part of how we can make those conversations happen is if we lift the heaviness of it a little bit with no disrespect, right, so that we can talk about it some more. Tell me about the staff training.
People are trained in mental health first aid and other training courses that we do with either the Samaritans or the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. One of our biggest things that we're doing right now is QPR, which is question, persuade, refer. Teach them signs and symptoms of someone who might be in crisis, how to ask the question, and then where to get them the next help. Very similar to CPR, where you stay with the person, you're doing all those techniques until the paramedics, police arrive. QPR is the exact same way.
Hallelujah. It's a suicide 101.
That's what we call it.
And it's simple. Simple. And it's free.
It's free.
And so who do you want to target to take that course? Any organizations, any companies,
any public.
Human resource people that are listening.
Yes. There's actually a course that we do with the schools. It's a program through the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention called More Than Sad, and it focuses on teenage depression. There's a film with 4 different children that are or adolescents that are going through. Examples.
Okay.
Yep. And they're all actors, but they go through 4 different situations.
Okay.
So we first show it to the staff, and then we'll show it to the students in a controlled classroom with, say, an adjustment counselor, the school nurse. There's always a ratio, student to faculty ratio when we show the film. And then we could also show it at night to the parents, so the parents know what the kids are saying. So that's one of the ones that we're really trying to get in. And then when we leave the school, we leave the film with them.
What do you hope that the person listening feels when they hear this show, if they are having thoughts about suicide?
First of all, I'd hope that they would reach out for help. That's the most important thing. But also to know that they're not alone.
I want them to know that, yes, they are not alone, but there's not just one person that loves them. There's many.
There's a community, probably.
I want to thank you so much for being here.
No
It was
problem.
lovely to have you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad that we met. And we'll be connecting and staying connected for many years to come, I presume.
sure.
We think alike. We're both wearing pink today. Anyway, I want to leave you with this. Depression is something that can feel like a heavy burden or an anchor, maintaining a firm hold to keep us from moving forward. And guess what? We are human, and human beings have to move. We have to move our minds and keep them moving in a positive direction. Sometimes with all of the hats that I wear or roles that I play, I feel like I'm holding that anchor in my hands, or the weight of the world is invisibly hanging around on my shoulders. But like anything in life, we can choose to see the negative or the positive. And I am finally starting to see the positive in my own moments of anxiety and depression. It is just a feeling. And that feeling or feelings of weights, anchors, or worlds can automatically feel lighter or even be lifted completely by putting those feelings into perspective. It is important to feel, and we are all capable of moving through those feelings in a healthy way with some help. The positive has come full circle for me and is crystal clear now that I've chosen to see it. When I feel any hint or sign of anxiety or depression kicking in, I recognize it for what it is. It is a beautiful internal clock. It's built in. It wakes me up and tells me that it's time to feed myself more love. I'm your host, Nicole Perry. I want to thank you for listening. I hope you will tune in next Sunday after the news at noon. And I'm feeling good as hell. Until then, have a great week. And remember, knowledge is power.